Hi and welcome back. This session I'm going to show you how to create client dashboards using Notion. These client dashboards are going to help you in tracking all the clients that you'll be working with. So a client dashboard is basically a visual management tool that consolidates and displays data. It gives your client a clear and organized view of key information, for instance, KPIs or tasks that you're handling or services related to the work that you're doing for them. Examples of areas that use client dashboards are marketing agencies, financial platforms, and also for project management, which is what we're going to be creating for today. So the key features to have on your client dashboard are performance tracking. You need to know how to track the tasks that you're handling for your clients. User-friendly interface to enable the client to be able to use it easily. Documents and resources access. Make sure that the client has access to different documents related to the projects. Communication tools, that is access to different ways that they can communicate with you or the team, and also real-time updates such that whenever you update a task on one end, it can automatically update on their end for visibility. So this is an example of a client dashboard. This is kind of a copy from what I usually use. This is not the main one that I use. Some details I have extracted, but they're more or less the same. So this is how it looks like. We have a section here where you start. This is where we have a video we can add just to explain to the client how to use this dashboard. And then you have the project section. It has the start date to the end date of the project. And then you have the project deliverables. Assets, these are any documents or part of the project that you're working with. We have links to them so that they can be easily accessible to the clients. We have guides. These are SOPs for the clients and also maybe for the team that you are working with. I always add them to this section to enable transparency with the client. I don't know, maybe it depends with you. So I add that as well as a guide. And then you have communication channels. Here I add any communication channels and how they can communicate with the team or even directly with me in case of anything, any questions that they might have. And then now we have the main section, which is the project timelines and the updates. So the project timelines cover all the tasks that we handle for the client that is related to the project we are working on. So we have this week's, this month's, tasks that maybe are assigned to the client. Maybe we need them to review something. And then we have all the tasks. We have a calendar view of to show how the tasks are viewed in within the different days of the month. And then you have the tasks that are done on this section. Then over here we have updates. So the updates are any updates that I would like my client to have. While working with the clients, I like to have them updated on maybe new things or trends that are out there in the market. Let's say I'm working with someone within the tech industry and there are some updates that are out there that I would like for them to know. So I always add them to this section. We also have news and any reports that we have prepared for the client. So they're always updated over here and the client has an overview of it. So whenever we update them on our databases, I will show you that as well. The client is going to see them on this section. So this section is accessible to the client as well as to me. It gives me an overview of all the projects we are working on, all the tasks that we are working on, and they are updated on a daily basis. As I had mentioned, we have databases that are connected to this dashboard. So it depends with how you want to create your dashboard. So this is the main section for client management. Then we have the main hub, which entails all this. We have all the tasks that we are handling as a team. So these are the tasks that we handle for all the clients. We have different assignees. So this one is not accessible to the client. Then we have now the client dashboard that I've just shown you. And then we have the template section. So for the template section, we have a task tracking template and you have a social media planner template. So the task tracking template, we use it for any new tasks that are coming in within any project that you're working with. So once I create a task over here, I just click on new, I add the task, I add the status, who is assigned to this task, and any other information that is needed. Once I've done that, I just come here to this 6 dots over here, and then I choose to move it, and I will move it now to the main task. That is the all task tracker. This one. So once I move it, it moves there, and now we are able to access it as a team. Then we have the social media planner. I will explain this into details in another video. So this is used whenever we are working with a client who wants support within social media management. And apart from that, we also have now the main databases. So here we have the client database. This contains all the names of the clients we are working with. So for instance, we have an example here, which is the client name, the year we are working with, the discovery call, when it was done, how did they hear about us. So most of this information is filled in during the or after the discovery call. And then we also have projects that we are working with, the different clients we have. So we have the projects, the status, the deadlines, when we started the projects, notes, and then we also have which client we are working with. It's linked to the client database over here. Then we have the guides, as I had mentioned on the client dashboard. So these are the guides. We always have them here, and whenever I need them to be shown to any clients, I tag them and they can be shown on their pages. And we also have updates here. So as I had mentioned, you see, once I have an update here, it depends with the client I want to show it to. So it depends with the industry that they're in. So once I get the updates, I add them here. I tag them to whichever client I want to have the information updated to them, and then it will show up on their dashboards. And then now we have this section. This is all the tasks database. So the reason why I have this in place is so that whenever a client tries to access the main page, they want to be able to see all the tasks for other clients that we're working with. So as you can see, it's locked, so they can't make any changes to it. So whenever they click, let me just show you that. Whenever they come over here, you can see here you're able to check the main source of the database. So whenever they click it, it will take them to this section, but once it opens, they won't be able to see any data from the different clients we're working with. So that's why I created this as a pseudo kind of account to enable us to now just for privacy for other clients that you're working with as well. So yeah, that's how my database looks like. So the dashboard solves problems when it comes to information overload, lack of transparency between you and your client. It offers transparency in terms of the tasks that you're handling, misalignment between it makes you avoid misalignment between you and your client. It also provides accountability and also makes slow decision making to be a bit faster, enabling the project to move a bit faster between you and your client so that they can be able to have the projects done on time. Start by explaining to you how Notion looks like. So this is the side panel. We have an area where you can search any pages, the home page, which is this one. We have the Notion AI tool, which you can use to help you in terms of research. And then you have the inbox in case you are tagged in any of the pages that you have shared with a team or someone. Here is where you'll get the updates. And then we have now the shared documents over here. So if you have any pages on Notion that you share with someone or with other people, they will be added under this shared section. And then now we have the private section. These are any documents that are just for you personally. They are not viewed by anyone else. But if you want to share, once you get to share the document, it will appear below shared. And then now we have the settings and we have the marketplace. This is where you can buy any templates available on Notion. And then you have the trash, where you can just of any pages that you've been able to delete from this section, you can find them under trash if you want to restore them. Create let's say the admin hub. Let's call it the admin hub. You'll come here under private, click on the plus sign, and then it will create a new page. So once you do that, now we have to name it. Let's say we are calling it client admin hub. Once you've done that, you can add an icon. So there are different icons here. We have emojis, we have icons, or you can even upload any images you want to use as an icon. So let's say we use this as an icon here, and then you can also add a cover picture, so it can generate one from you, and then you can now go ahead and make the changes here. You can have a solid color, you can have images, you can even upload a new one from your own computer to use it as a cover image over here. Once we have done that, now we need to think of the categories or the pages that we need to have within the hub and then now have the headings for those pages. So for instance, for us, let's say we want to have pages for projects, for the projects. We can also have another page for the tasks that we'll be handling. And now we have the client database. So once you've created that, you can now go ahead, click here and turn them into pages. So you click on these 6 dots, go to turn into, and then go to pages. So we can do that for all of them. If we want them to be pages, that's how we are going to do that. So in Notion, you can have a page within a page. So for instance, for this one, we have the main page, which is the client admin hub, and then we have the different pages within it. So we have the projects page, we have the task page, and then you have the client database. These are just examples. You can even create more depending on how you want to work with your team or with your client. So that's how you create pages. Now I'm going to show you how to create databases within your Notion page. So let's say we want to create a database. We'll click /, or is it called a /? I'm not sure. You can comment on the comment section if you want to correct me. Then we go ahead and type database. So once you write data, you'll see different options come up. So we can choose here to just use a database, and it will create a database for you. So once you have the database appear, you can name it. Let's say this is the client dashboard or the client database. Let's just call it client DB because we had already created a page called client database, which was just an example. So we have the client DB database over here. So here you'll be able to add different properties. We have the name. This can be the names of your clients. And then you can have the properties can be maybe there are different properties you can add. We have the text, select. This is to select options that you have. We have status. This is going to be showing the status from one point to the other. Person is the assigned person to maybe a specific task or a specific client. We have checkbox. We have font type. We have different properties you can use. We have numbers, mostly used for functions or calculations. We have multi-select, date. I can't go through all of them, but I will do another session in case you would like for me to show you how to use each property. Just let me know in the comment section. So let's say we want to add a status of maybe how they have moved from one section to another. We haven't, maybe they're just leads. We haven't started communicating with them, or it's in progress. To edit the property, you can come here. Maybe let's say we are doing a discovery call with them. So discovery call done. So if it's done, then it can be selected as done. So that is another option you can add. So once you have a client, if you haven't started communicating with them or you haven't started a project with them, you can add it here. It's great also to just have their contacts. Maybe they reached out, but they haven't done a discovery call with you yet, or haven't started the process of getting to work with you yet. It's good to have their contacts just in case you can reach out to them in future. Then we have the different progress. You can have discovery call in progress, or if it's a client that you've already worked with and you're done with the projects that you're working with, you can add as done. Then you can add other properties that you would like. So there's one property I would like to talk about, that is relation. This enables you to relate one table to another, so that whenever you update on one database, it can get updated to the other as well. So this is where you add the relation. You can say maybe related to another section of your database or of your hub, let's say the client database that we have created, although it doesn't have a database. Let's say we are linking it to maybe one of our databases that we have. For instance, we have the task tracker, the updates, so it will link to any of the databases that you already have and is existing in your Notion page. So that's how you create a database. I hope I've helped you in getting to know how to do that. You can even change some of these to become databases. You come here and just say turn to, and then you have different options of how to change them, or you can just open the page and you can create a database from down below here. They have database options. Now, using the steps that we have already learned, I'm going to use that to now create the main thing that we wanted to create using this session, that is the client dashboard. So I'll start by using the slash and create a page. So this page is going to be called the client dashboard, and then you press enter. It will take you to the next step, or the next line on the page, and then we can now create any other things that we want within this space. So first we'll start with maybe greetings for the client. Let's say hello, and then the client name, and then you press enter again. This is just a text, as you will see here. It is just a text. So next we're going to now create a heading from like the copy we had from our client dashboard. We have a heading over here where the client will look at how to start. It has a video over here and also a text. So we'll just go ahead and create the heading. To create a heading, you can use the plus sign or just click enter from the previous line. So let's say we press enter and then it's just a text, or heading 1, heading 2, heading 3. So we'll go ahead and use heading 2. And then you're going to type start here. And then to be able to add the color that you see over here, you will go to these 6 dots on the left, and then you have color over here. You scroll down, and down here you can be able to see the background colors available. On the top, these are colors for the text. So what we can use is one of these colors. Let's say we use orange, and as you can see, it has turned the background to an orange color. And then now to show you how to add a video or embed a video on the document, you go to the plus sign again, and you'll be able to choose a section where you can add an image, a video, and audio. So let's say we're using a video. It will show up here, and then now you can choose a video from your laptop or your computer to add it to the document as well. Something else I want to show you is how to create these columns within your Notion page. So you'll come again to the page. You can click the plus sign to add another heading. Went ahead and created the different labels that we need, that is the different categories that we need to see on our dashboard. So now to create the columns, as you had seen from our previous dashboard, we have the project details on this side, the assets, the guides, and then we have now the project timelines and the updates on the right. So how we are going to do that? We have the project details, the project deliverables, the assets, and all of the other labels that we need in these categories. So how we are going to do that? We're going to go to the label that you want to move to the right, go to the 6 dots that are on the left, click on it, don't let go, and drag it. So when you drag it, you'll see this blue line that keeps following you around. So we are going to pull it until you can see a line at the end of the blue line at the end of the line where you want to put the column to start. So for us, we have here on project details, we have the blue line at the end. So we are going to drag it there and then let go. So it will come out as as 2 different columns. And then you can now resize it as you want. Once you've done that, now you can move the other labels or categories where you would want them to be within the 2 columns. So for project deliverables, we want it to be on the left. So we're going again to the 6 dots, click on it and drag it until you see the blue line where you want the column to be. As you can see, you have it as a straight line until the end. This one will just appear below the two columns, but we want it to be under project details, so you will see a line, just the blue line just below the project details. Once you see that, you let go of the category, and then it will appear under that column. So we'll do the same for the rest. And then you also have now the updates. We want it to appear under project timelines. So you can also add the colors just as I had shown above, and you'll have all the details appear just as it was on our dashboard over here. So to add details below them, all you have to do is just come to the line that you want to add a detail below it. You can use the plus sign, or you can just click on enter, and then now you can add the details as you want. So for the project details, we just have the start date and the end date. The deliverables, we have it as check boxes. So once you press enter and maybe you write a deliverable in terms of maybe achieve 100% task something, so you can come here on the 6 dots again on the left, click on it, and then turn it into a checkbox like the to-do list, or you can use it, you can use bullets, you can use numbers. It depends on how you want it to look like. So let's say we are using the checkbox, it will appear like that. Why I like using the checkbox is once it's the project deliverable is done, you just strike it out. Yeah, and then now how to add a database. Just as you had seen on our dashboard, we have a different database that is a representation of the previous database that we had created some time back. So I'm going to show you how to link that also here on your dashboard. So now to link the database to your dashboard, what we're going to do, we're going to come to project timelines. On the end, we place the cursor at the end of timelines, then you click enter. So here, once we are here, you can use the slash, and then what we're going to type so that we can link the database that we had created, that is the client DB. We're going to type link. So here you can be able to link a page. You see, this is what the results come out as. You can link a page to this section. You can add a divider. This helps to divide the page into different sections. You can add a line chart if you have a database on that. So here we want to link a database. We're going to click on linked view of the database that we want. Once you click on that, it will give you options on which database you want to link it to. So you're going to write the name of the database. So for us, it's client DB, which is this one. So we're going to click on it. And once you click on it, it will come and appear under this section where you wanted it to show. So what you can do, you can choose to have the name of the database not to be visible, as well as to change the views for the database. So we can have different views. You can have the table, you can add the board. This is how the board looks like. It's going to use the different select options that you had. As you had seen when we were creating, we have not started, discovery call done, in progress, and also done. You can add as much views as you want. You can have the calendar like the one we had. You can add more options just to have a clear view of, depending on what you want your client to see. And also you can change the names of the views that you have. You can rename them over here. So you come to the table, you right click on it, and then you go to rename, and you can change the name of the table depending on how you want the view to be about. So let's say we want it to be of all tasks. You can just write all tasks over here. Apart from that, you can also add a view. Maybe you want them to be of specific tasks for that day. So for them to be just specific tasks for that specific day, you just come right here, right click on it again, that is on the view. Once you right click on it, you can be able now to make the changes that you want on the view. So you'll see the different views you have, and you can choose on the 3 dots that are on the right. and go to edit view. Here you can be able to now create filters for that specific view. Maybe you want it to be for maybe tasks for that specific day. We had a date already added, so we go to date, and then you can filter it in terms of maybe tasks for that week or maybe tasks for that day, depending on how you want the view to look like. And then now you can change the view here to, you can rename it to you can rename it to now today's tasks. This will give your client an overview of what tasks maybe you're working on for that day. So it depends on how you want your client to view the dashboard and what you want the client to see on as an overview of all the tasks that you're handling for them for that specific project. As you can see for this page, it's a bit squeezed and you're not able to view all the views unless you click on here and change the views for different options. So to change that, we're going to go to the far right corner, the top right corner over here, click on the three dots and then go to full width. This will enable you to now see the entire dashboard on a full page. So as you can see now, we can see everything clearly, everything is well spaced and the views are quite visible. And as well you can see now the filters over here. You can add different filters depending on what you want to be viewed. So you can do the same for even the updates once you create a database for that, and also for the guides, because the guides was also a database. As you can see here, the guides was a database as well. So you can make those changes to your document and create a field that is easier for your client to understand and even to have a look of the overview of the entire project, and make it easier for them to even have transparency with you and your team. That's how you create a client dashboard. I know it can be overwhelming with all the information that I have just shared, but with practice, you can make it perfect and even learn to do more than I have. And one of the ways you can do that is just create an account on Notion. It's free. And once you have created an account on Notion, you can just practice on this and learn how to use the Notion document as you continue practicing every single day. If you found this video helpful, make sure to like and subscribe, and let me know in the comment section if you have any questions pertaining to Notion, how to use it, and I'll make sure to help you where I can. Apart from that, thank you so much for watching and see you in the next one.